Hello, and welcome back to my NHL 19 Jersey Quest franchise mode with the Ottawa Senators and Jean-Gabriel Pageau. As you can see here, we're like kind of in a different period than any I've kind of been in before, doing a season recap here. And the reason why for that will be explained very shortly. But as you can see here, we once again did not win the Stanley Cup. We're kind of in the pre-free agency period where you can do re-signing of like your current like players who are about to become UFAs or RFAs. And I'll kind of quickly go through the season recap here and then kind of go into why we are where we are in the season instead of usually in the nascent days of the actual free agency period. But let me reconfigure my spreadsheet. Here we go. Alright, so as you can see here, we finished with a 42, 29, and 11 record, which is good for 95 points and third in the Atlantic Division. So I was like kind of half surprisingly right. This has, I thought we were going to do better this season than we did last year. We did a lot better than I thought, and we were able to sneak into like one of the more guaranteed playoff spots as third in the Atlantic. Which the Atlantic Division was very, very competitive because there was literally 3 points separating us as the Senators, in third, 95, from the team in 6th in the division, Buffalo Sabres, who finished 92 points. So it was a very, very tight division this season. In terms, you can see here the results, Bruins finished 107 points, lead the division. They weren't the President's Trophy winners. We go here, the Blue Jackets were. They finished with 110 points on the season, which is pretty crazy. But kind of our captain this season was Jean-Gabriel Pageau again, and then the alternates were Zach Smith, Amara, and Gabrick. In terms of goals for per game, we were finished with 2.68 goals for per game, which is 6th in the league, and goals against we're at 2.65, which is 19th in the league. So what we basically did is our goals against per game basically remained like the same. It was like 0.03 different. But our goals for per game improved by a decent amount. We went up from 29th in the league last season to 6th in the league this season, with a 0.35 increase in goals per game. So it's like an extra goal every like 30 games, which really helped us out here because we finished in a playoff spot. But in terms of how the playoffs then actually went, we got matched up against the Florida Panthers. If you noticed here quickly, the Panthers finished in 2nd, we finished in 3rd, so we matched up against the Panthers as like the lower seed in the first round of the playoffs. And we go here, the playoff tree. See here, we clearly didn't win the Stanley Cup, but our round series against the Panthers finished in 7 games, so with the Panthers winning. Panthers won game 1, 2-3. We won game. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We won game 2, 4-0. Panthers then jumped out to a 3-1 series lead with 4-2 and 3-2 wins in games 3 and 4. We then rebounded to force a game 7, winning game 5, 4-3 in overtime, and game 6, 4-1. And then game 7, the Panthers won 4-1, so they won the series. That kind of became our second rival as part of the series. It would have been the away fixtures. Those would have been ones I would have played next season. And then in the future, potentially playoff matchups. But in terms of like kind of stats and whatnot, as you see here, Gustav Nyquist was our leading scorer during the regular season with 66 points, which was 25 goals and 41 assists. And his line mate, Colin White, first line center, has also had a pretty solid season, 19 goals, 46 assists. In terms of Jean-Gabriel Pageau's point total, it might not be here. Yeah, it's not in here because of this like the re-sign period. So he's not tied to a contract. His stats don't appear here. But during the regular season, he finished with 12 goals, 24 assists, 36 points. I played a singular game that season against Montreal at home in March, and had 1 goal and 1 assist. Actually, I played 2 games. In the first game, Pageau didn't have any points, but we won that game. In the second game, I played. He had a goal and assist in March against the Canadiens. There was the playoffs. Pageau had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points in the 7 games. Our leading point scorer. The playoffs, you kind of saw there was Colin White, had a pretty bananas. Him and Nyquist had a pretty bananas playoffs, each with 9 points. Colin White with 4 goals, 5 assists, and Nyquist with 3 goals, 6 assists. So you see our top line was doing a lot of the work here, but clearly it wasn't enough to overcome the Panthers. In terms of like general league scoring, once again, kind of the same issue that's kind of existed in NHL 19, which is kind of why I think they like, I don't know if it was in NHL 20, but in the more recent NHLs, they've had like leagues where you can adjust like the scoring rate and shot frequency and all that kind of stuff into franchise mode. is the new scorer was Vladimir Tarasenko with 89 points, tied with Nikita Kucherov for the scoring lead, but he has more goals, so he technically wins the Art Ross. And once again, there was only like a couple players, 1, 2, 3, 4 players that finished like at or above a point per game. Technically, Michael did too, but he only played 79 games. But other players played like, in terms of 82 points or above, there's only 4 players again. In terms of rookie scoring, we didn't really have any rookies around this time. Oh, I guess most of them are restricted free agents, because literally like none of them are in here, which is pretty funny. But so the top scorers were Martin Necas of the Hurricanes with 55 points, and Sam Steele of the Ducks with 53, is the closest behind him for the Calder race, which Necas won. In terms of other awards, let's quickly go in here. As you see, the Stanley Cup champion was the Tampa Bay Lightning. The President's Trophy is the Metros Blue Jackets. The Western Conference finalist was the Calgary Flames, and the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Cup. Please here, go look and see how that kind of went down. Flames beat Arizona in 7, Sharks in 7, and then the Stars in 4 before losing in 6 to the Lightning. The Lightning beat the Bruins in 4. They swept them. They beat the team who beat us, the Panthers, in 7 games. Beat our rivals, the Canadiens, in 4, and then won the games, Stanley Cup in 6 games. So if we had won our series, we potentially could have had a decent run if we had gotten up and matched up against the Canadiens in the conference finals, but we didn't. So it is what it is. In terms of the awards here, the individual awards, individual awards is the trigger. Here we go. Art Ross, as I said, went to Tarasenko. Hart went to Kucherov, which I don't really understand how they choose who gets the Hart. In the sense that, like, Kucherov and Stamkos both finished like 89 and 88 points. It's not like one of them really like carried the team and he's really be considered more valuable than the other. At least in my opinion, I'd probably put even Tarasenko, because he had 89 points and Ryan O'Reilly had 81 points, which was not far behind. He was 5th in scoring. I probably would have given it to, based on just not having another like teammate in the top 10 scoring, I would have given it to Tyler Seguin, who was like the last player to finish the point per game. But the game has its formula to pick it. So it said Jones won the Norris for the President's Trophy winning team. Tarasenko won the Lady Byng. As I said, Necas won the Calder. Another, which I think this is the kind of popular thing in these kind of older, excuse me, sorry, these older NHL games, was the goalies were pretty much always win the Conn Smythe. As you can see here, Vasilevsky won it. Vezina was Antti Raanta from the Arizona Coyotes. Jennings went to Tuukka Rask, the Bruins. Masterton would skip over, it's not really relevant. Selke was Ryan O'Reilly, it's not really a surprise. Ted Lindsay was Kucherov. And then the Rocket Richard was Tyler Seguin. In terms of the draft, I kind of once again went for a quality over quantity approach. And because we had an absolute ton of picks, if you remember last time, I only used 3 of them to pick 3. I used our first round pick, and then 2 of our other picks to pick 2 of the 3 gems that are available. Because once again, I traded back for a pick, but then like wasn't too far. Like it wasn't like the player's ranking, but it was before. But even still, one of the other teams snagged one of the gems before I could. But I was able to snag with our first round pick, 17th overall, a top 4 medium potential right defenseman. And then the 2 gems I picked at 63rd overall, I picked a top 4 low potential right defenseman who's a gem, which kind of filled out our last kind of real needs in the prospect pool. We needed 2 more right D to kind of have like a decent enough prospect pool. And my kind of ambitions at our last pick was a medium elite potential CPU generated like American goalie with the 89th overall pick, and then the rest of our picks I like kind of wheeled and dealed in the draft for like other picks, like which I don't really need to go through all the trades because there was like an absolute ton of them. But I went like I got like a bunch of picks in the 2021 draft for like a bunch of my other picks and whatnot. But kind of as you can see here, like as I said earlier, I'm in the beginning of the re-sign period, and there's a reason for that, which I'm kind of getting into right now. If we go to, actually, let's go through here. Go to contracts here, and then go, see here, most of I was able to, like, one big thing is before the season, I was able to lock up Thomas Chabot to a relatively cheap extension for an 89 overall defenseman to $6.1 million a year, which I was pretty impressed with myself with. But if we go here to centers, that's what position Pageau is, and we scroll down to Pageau here, as you can see here, it says in terms of wanting an extension, the answer is no. He does not want an extension. He wants to test free agency, which means he no longer wants to be a part of the Ottawa Senators organization, which means for the first time in like which is honestly surprised it took this long. I've done a decent number of these jersey quests, kit quests. The kit quest is not really a problem at all because like the system works just so differently in soccer than it does to hockey. So for in terms of all the jersey quest franchise modes we've done in NHL games, I'm surprised it's taken this long, honestly, because usually like, when I did them in the past, it happened a decent amount more frequently. But Pageau no longer wants to be a part of the Senators organization. I'm going to honor his wishes and let him walk free agency, which means as he's the Jersey Quest player, this Jersey Quest franchise mode had ended in a failure for the first time, which means the series is unfortunately over after only 2 seasons, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. I can't really change the fact. I was kind of hoping, because it said that at the start of the season I was like nervous, and I was kind of hoping maybe if like we did well and we were making the playoffs and stuff, which like changes opinion to see that we're building a more successful team and he'd want to stay, but clearly that wasn't the case, and he doesn't want to stick around. He honestly also would have been ended up being probably like 5th choice center basically, because he's now locked in at 80 overall. As you can see here, Colin White at 85, Chris Tier at 83, and the 2 players that can still grow with Batherson and Logan Brown are all above him in overall, so they all kind of would have technically been above him in the lineup, besides me like messing stuff around because he's the Jersey Quest player. So he kind of like fell out of favor in the lineup in terms of overall position, and he just didn't want to stick around. So that's kind of it for this series, unfortunately. So in terms of his career stats, you can see here, I can't do let me do the math quick. In the 2 seasons, he finished with 36 goals and 56 assists. It's really like if you like take like these two down, like his goal total is his first season point total, his assist total is his second season point total, and you add them together. He scored 92 points in the 164 games he played, which is like a little over half a point per game, which is pretty solid. But unfortunately, that's kind of it here. So what that means is the series is a failure, so no one will be buying like this jersey and getting it all done up. And probably what it does mean is at some point in the future, we'll probably come back around to this setup and have like a retry of this franchise mode at some point in the future. Because, well, I'll get into how that comes about when it comes about. But what that means is like the series only lasts like what 2-3 days, the intro, and then the 2 season recaps, like 3-day series, which is kind of unfortunate. And it kind of leaves me in a hard spot in terms of what to do next in terms of the series on this channel, because I was kind of hoping this would go on for a decent length of time just to buy me some time, because the next kind of series would be a Kit Quest career mode in FC 25 actually, which is kind of surprising just based on how things work out in terms of how I do these. If you kind of tell the trend if you like observe it in terms of looking at like the commonalities between the 2 players in the Kit Quest and the Jersey Quest that I do like back to back, or like the 2 that kind of correspond with each other. You kind of notice the similarity with that, and then the name of the general manager or this manager in general. But the next Kit Quest I want to do is a Dane Scarlett Oxford United Kit Quest in FC 25. The problem is, one, FC 25 literally like just came out, so it's at full price, and like you should never really, in my opinion, especially if you're only going to be playing like the offline modes, which I do. I don't play like Hockey Ultimate Team or FIFA or FC Ultimate Team, because I'm just like not probably that actually good at the game to beat people online. It's just like a sweaty grind fest with like microtransactions and crap to get you to spend money. So there's no point paying full price for the game, like if you're really gonna play like mostly only the offline modes, like franchise mode and career mode, because EA doesn't really put their most time and effort into it. So you should be giving EA like the full dollar value of the game for it. So I was kind of hoping, one, waiting for the game to go on sale, which is going to take a little bit considering the game came out like 5 days ago or so. And then the other issue is, because this is seemingly as the way it's kind of looking right now, is unfortunately another kind of unsuccessful loan for Dane Scarlett, like his Ipswich one last year, where he like made 12. He has made like around, or like he's probably gonna be on board for more appearances by like the end of December in this loan than he was at Ipswich last season. But the problem is, which is just kind of the problem that's been plaguing Tottenham Hotspur for a little bit, is like sending these young players on loans that like aren't gonna help, don't end up helping them out at all. Because Oxford United already have like for like the championship and whatnot, a really good striker. Like Dane Scarlett has been for the most part, aside from an appearance in the Carabao Cup against Coventry where they lost, where he started, he's come off the bench in all of his appearances for Oxford in the championship, and literally has told 36 minutes in 4 different appearances, so like under 10 minutes an appearance so far, including like literally because I'm recording this and this is going to go up on the 2nd of October. I was hoping yesterday in the game against Luton he would come off the bench potentially and score or even start, but he didn't. He just came off the bench for 6 minutes at the end of the match, which was a 2-2 draw, which is a pretty exciting match, to be honest. Oxford came back from 2-0 down, but until he like kind of scores a goal, there's no really way to like determine which kit of their like home, away, and third kits to kind of go for as the kind of kit of choice in the Kit Quest Manager career mode. So kind of without that like anchoring decision, and the fact that I'd kind of rather wait for the game to go on sale like either at Black Friday or around like Christmas time potentially, even, because like that's how these things work. Yeah, it's also me kind of trying to figure out if I want to get the game on console, the Xbox Series X, or do I want to get the game on PC, on my PC, which I'm using to kind of record and edit a lot of this other stuff for these videos on this channel for. But so I'll kind of, that means the series is kind of basically going to be, it is the series I'm going to eventually do at some point, unless Dane Scarlett literally finishes his loan period without like scoring a goal for Oxford. Even then I might just still like do it if he like ends up getting his loan terminated in January or something like that. But what that kind of means is the next series on the channel, likely it might take a couple days for me to kind of hopefully maybe see if, because if say I think their next match is this weekend. Let me look up quick. Let me look up Oxford United's schedule. Let's go to their where's their like website here? Oxford United. I'm on their website right now. Honestly, all their kits are pretty nice looking. I kind of the 3, I'd probably say the purple third kit is probably my favorite because it's purple. Like I really like the color purple. But if we look at the club information, where's just like your schedule? I feel like this shouldn't be like that hard of like a thing here. Oh, upcoming fixtures. Here we go. Yes, their next match is in a couple of days on October the 5th against Portsmouth. So hopefully, like if luck, I'm gonna kind of wait out for that and see if, in terms of what the next series in the channel is gonna be, I'm gonna kind of hold out and hope that on the 5th against Portsmouth, that Dane Scarlett either starts or comes off the bench or something, or somehow he just puts the ball at the back of the net and scores. That'll give me basically a definite goal and whatnot in terms of which kit to go for in the Kit Quest. And then I'll probably just end up caving and getting FC25 at full price, either on PC or console, kind of figure out which one's the best for me to do. But if he does, then the series will probably then start potentially even on the date on the 5th. If I get it on PC, on console, I'll probably want to get a physical copy, just because having a physical copy I like preferred than having digital copies. And then if he doesn't though, then because there's an international break after this weekend, for whatever godforsaken reason, because FIFA is like insane, has way too many international fixtures, clogging already like congested fixture schedule. There is an international break after this weekend, so their next match wouldn't be until the 19th of October, which is like that's like 2 weeks apart between matches against West Brom. So if he doesn't score in the match against Portsmouth on the 5th, on the 6th then probably, or even later in the day on the 5th, depending on like how busy I am and whatnot, I'll probably figure out through my kind of methodology for deciding what series is next. I will figure out what it is, and if it's like, it could be another kit quest or jersey quest, or it could be something like completely different, like an actual like a let's play of a different game. And you'll kind of, I don't know what the answer is right now, but so you'll kind of find out not long after I find out, and I will kind of record and upload the first episode of that series. If it is, hopefully he does score, even though I really don't want to give EA 60 or 70 bucks or whatever for the game at full price. I'll do it, and hopefully he scores against Portsmouth on the weekend. If not, you and I will be able to be kind of surprised with what the next series is, and then that series will kind of be put on like on a hold basically, and then whenever, if and when, hopefully when, because I want Dane Scarlett to have a successful loan at Oxford, so he can potentially kind of give us 3 really good young options for striker, if Charleston's basically perma broken, to back up Solanke next season. Between him, Valise, and Will Langshear, hopefully one, like, so I want him to have a successful loan. Either then, if you don't want to keep him, so we can sell him on for a big fee, and I'll still do the kit quest anyways, because I won't know if that will sell him or not until like the end of the season. Because I kind of like his playing style. He seems to be a decent guy and decent player, and he was at one time the record like youngest appearance. Like he was the youngest player to make an appearance for Tottenham. I think, let me look on my Wikipedia page right now. Yeah, it was in the Europa League against in November 2020. So that was like the Jose Mourinho era. He came on in a Europa League match and became the youngest player to appear, make a first-team senior appearance for Tottenham. Which that record, like, he's no longer that, because he was kind of surpassed by Alfie Devine in January of 2021. So not that long after, to be quite honest. But then his record then was also broken by Mikey Moore last season when he made his debut. So I'm hoping that because has he scored a senior goal no, he hasn't scored a senior goal for Tottenham this experiences. So yeah, I would honestly just do a FIFA 23 Portsmouth one, but he wasn't where, like, there's a reason why I won't and can't. But yeah, so hopefully Dane Scarlett scores on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know what day of the week that actually is, and kind of enables me to do that series. If not, that series basically put on the back burner until he scores the goal for Oxford, and then I'll kind of start the Kit Quest franchise mode. That one's going to be a lot more fun, because it's my first one doing like a basically not non-Tottenham one, so it's going to be a lower league championship side, so it's going to kind of force me to think and operate in different ways, which I'm kind of looking forward to, especially because some of the changes they made in career mode in FC25 seem pretty decent from what I've read on the internet. Even the game obviously isn't perfect and whatever you want, because it's EA Sports. They don't really care. They don't really care about these these offline modes, because they don't really make them extra money aside from the 70 or 60 bucks you give them for buying the game. But so yeah, so hopefully Dane Scarlett scores and we can start that series up on the 5th or the 6th. But if not, that series basically put on the back burner, and if and whenever he scores, we'll kind of start the series then. Not necessarily interrupting like a current series in progress, just like I probably can't handle like doing that many things at once, especially because of whatever's going on in my personal life at the time and whatnot. Like I probably won't be able to commit to doing like 2 series like that at once. But if he doesn't score in the game against Peterborough or whatever. Yeah, against Portsmouth, sorry. Against Portsmouth, if he doesn't score that game, the next series will be whatever it is, and it'll kind of be a surprise for you and me. And so, thank you again. Sorry for me rambling a bit at the end here. I kind of just hit record and start going. Don't have a definite script going into these, which you can probably tell. But so, thank you for anyone who kind of watched this far and like listening to me ramble on a bit about like kind of the same stuff in circles. But thank you for watching this video, even though the series kind of ended up being disappointing because Pageau didn't want to stick with Sens, and this is our first Jersey Quest failure on the channel. But hopefully you enjoy the series, and hopefully you'll also watch whatever series is next, be that the Oxford United Kit Quest, Manager Career Mode in FC25, or whatever happens to be the next series, if that's not the case. But again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you watch the next series as well.